I'm beginning to think the entire Democratic Party is a whole scam. What is it really about? Stealing money, flooding the country with illegals, and calling us racists. That's it. Every time you look under the hood, all you find are scams. COVID. Wait a second. Fauci funded the lab where the virus came from? Whoa! Somali daycare, $19 billion. Wait a second. There's no children in the daycare center. What happened to USAID? None of the money left D.C. It all went to Democrats there. Everything. Russia, Hunter, whatever happened to the Green New Deal? It was about $1 trillion, right? Where are the windmills? Where are the solar panels? Where'd they go? I haven't seen anything. They haven't even built the little charging stations for the EVs. Where did it go? How about Omar? Omar, the other day, was worth $100,000. Next month, she was worth $30 million. Then she went back down to $100,000. How does that happen? They put Donald Trump on trial because of a bookkeeping thing. And she just gets away with inflating and deflating her net worth. Maybe she's hiding the money. Maybe there was never any money.
Democrats taking the House, Senate, and the White House is more dangerous than Iran having a nuclear bomb. It's more dangerous than anything else happening, ever. Because they're going to destroy everything as fast as they can. Virginia is actually a great example of this. They ran Abigail Spanberger as being kind of a moderate, middle-of-the-road, normal Democrat. Why did they run her that way? Just to get her in there. She lied through her teeth about every stance on everything. I'm a moderate. I'm one of you. I'm this. And then she got elected, and Virginians are living in hell right now as every single communist policy is being rammed through, and they're thinking, what did we do? So let me read this. This is from the Morse Report. Top Democrat political consultant and campaign strategist James Carville just stated on the left-wing Polycon podcast, when Democrats regain power, they plan to, and here it is, grant statehood to Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico so Democrats can unlock an extra 4 seats in the Senate. All 4 of those seats will be Democrat seats. Pack the Supreme Court from 9 justices up to 13, adding another 4 left-wing justices on the court. That would be 4 justices. As you know, they'd be Ketanji Brown Jackson types who would vote to protect the communist revolution. We'd never win another case. Another one, reopen the U.S.-Mexico border and grant mass amnesty to every single alien currently inside the United States of America. And this last part is the most important part. His advice to Democrat politicians: don't run on it. Don't talk about it. Just do it. Lie. It is April of 2026. Between now and November of 2028, Democrats in the United States of America are going to bend over backwards to try to sound relatively normal so the American people will make the drastic mistake of giving them power again. But if the American people do it, if they take that step, they are going to burn this country to ash.
Americans to understand about how pervasive and widespread the fraud is that all of our systems were set up and established for a high-trust society. I think that most citizens probably assume that there's some verification process that takes place for the receipt of most federal benefits. The reality is that there is not. This is particularly true in blue states, willfully true in blue states, in which all of these programs are operated entirely on the honor system. No verification takes place before individuals are enrolled in or receive these benefits. So as a simple example, if you're a Somali refugee living in Minnesota, you could lie about how many children you have. You could lie about what your immigration status is. You could lie about your marital status. You could lie about child care. You could lie about disability. You could lie about all these things and many more. And nobody in the state of Minnesota would validate any of these facts before writing you a check. We at the federal government are simply sent a bill from the state of Minnesota for the cost of providing these services in the aggregate. So to take the food stamp program as an example, SNAP, and that of course is administered by Secretary Rollins, we do not know the names of any SNAP recipient in the state of Minnesota. We just get a blank check. We have asked the state repeatedly and tried to compel the state unsuccessfully to turn over their SNAP enrollment rolls so we could ascertain such basic facts as, are these people even legally eligible to receive these benefits? And the state has refused, absolutely categorically refused. And in fact, the state has spent millions of dollars in court for the singular purpose of trying to prevent the state from ascertaining the identity of a single SNAP recipient in the entire state of Minnesota. Think about what this does to public trust, social trust, people's faith in the system, right? Imagine in a community, a working class community in the Twin Cities, say a native Minnesotan who works as a lineman or works as a construction worker, works in any job that requires hard work, dedication, focus, who's worried about his ability to support for and provide his family. And then imagine that he has a neighbor who's a Somali refugee who arrived 2 years ago and has a Mercedes and no financial stress and no worries at all in the entire world and never seems to ever go to work at all because he just went to an office in the state, lied on a piece of paper, and got unlimited free money forever for life. That is the system that is being run, and that is the corruption that this task force under the leadership of the vice president is going to demolish. I think what's important for